And a 1, and a 2, and a 3, and a 4. It's time to play some Gaiden. Let the bodies hit the floor. Okay, that's not good. Okay, so today's episode starts with a big shakedown at Castle Sophia, and some dude just randomly shows up to tell us that an earthquake has blocked the way to the Mila temple, but luckily the priestess and her companions are just fine. Well, that's convenient to the plot, I suppose. So yeah, and Celica's parties are now on the Overland map, and you can control them both, but they can't interact with each other. Well, actually they can if you play on easy mode, which allows you to trade items freely between the two parties, but I'm actually not going to take advantage of this. I only do it to avoid the grind, so I'll be using some other in-game mechanics later on to trade shit around. After all, not a fucking casual. Shut the fuck up. In today's episode, we're going to be following Alm's party, and then we'll alternate between Alm and Celica between parts to spice things up. Alm's quest is to go fuck shit up in Rigel, but first we got General Bulldozer to the west, and in our way stands an enemy force hungry for Sophian blood. Oh boy, this is a big map. Hey, we actually get some pre-battle dialogue. These are very rare in Gaiden. I mean, how many lines of dialogue has Alm actually uttered since leaving Rom? Like, 4? After giving a bit of a moral boost to his forces, we butt heads with Rigel. Turns out, they actually got a leader, a guy named Zach? Gaiden does this a lot, just throws a generic name at a generic unit with no portrait or anything, and that's your boss. In fact, enemy portraits in Gaiden are very rare, but in turn, that kinda makes them a lot more special, I guess? So this battle is fairly straightforward. Like with most of Gaiden maps, 90% of it is rendered fucking obsolete due to the fact that everything happens in the center. The Armor Knights are kinda tough to bring down, and for a moment I forget that the Night Killer lance is not effective against them, and that gets my lovely Claire quite damaged as a result. It's okay though, babe. You can take a pounding. Zack is pretty tough as well, but luckily we got Excalibur! Man, that spell is just too fucking good. Oh, I almost forgot to talk about the new enemy type that showed up there for a moment. The Witch. These spellcasters have a spell that is not listed in their actual spellbook, but they pretty much have the ability to warp themselves anywhere on the map, though the AI seems a little stupid sometimes, and doesn't always warp them in the most ideal of locations. Aside from the fact that they are very mobile, the witches themselves aren't particularly threatening at all. Anyway, we defeat the Rigelian faggots and victory is ours. Now we just have to... wait, Paladin assembled? Oh, that's cool. Shit actually happens on the Overland map? That's interesting. We have to take a trip down to the Liberation HQ due to a new promotion, and while fighting the zombies, I actually get a steel shield. This item is just a plain better version of the leather shield, which provides +5 defense to whoever holds it. I actually went online to check the chances of this drop happening, and turns out I should probably start buying some lottery tickets, because this shield has a 0.258% chance to drop from zombies. Wow, what an oddly specific number. Hey guys, what chance should we make the steel shield have to drop again? 0.258%. Can't we just make it 1% or something? 0.258%! Okay! Yeah, that's right. I'm a lucky fucker. Anyway, one paladin promotion later, and it's time to head back. As I come back from the HQ, the paladins have actually started moving across the map and are getting ready to assault Sophia Castle. Wow, enemies moving on the Overland map? Well, not only did Gaiden do it first, Gaiden apparently did it better. This actually makes it feel like shit is happening in the world, and if I muck about too much, the enemies will actually take back territory I've claimed, or even attack my forts, which is exactly what these guys are doing. Okay, that is actually incredibly amazing. I can definitely understand why Gaiden gets so much praise when I see shit like this. Despite everything this game does wrong, moments like this just makes you really appreciate it. I mean, this feels like a war. You can't just run around the minimap without consequences. The enemies won't sit around on their fat asses twiddling their thumbs waiting for you to come to them. They'll send out forces to engage you and attack your territory. So this battle, despite being a very generic one, is actually a ton of fun. I have the defensive fort that Bulldozer previously used against me, and I love that since the enemies attacked me, they actually get the first turn. Little things like this just makes me very happy when it comes to game design. It just gives it a bit of charm. So we lure the paladins and cavaliers into the hot gates where their numbers count for nothing. I really love how this fort, unlike so many others in Fire Emblem, actually makes a ton of sense. If the enemies want to get in, they'll need to go through the fucking Helm's Deep in order to get there, getting blasted from all sides and choked into a thin formation trying to breach through. Some of them actually try to run around, but I decide to send some forces outside to deal with them. Aragorn and Gimli style. The next battle is against a squad of wizards, very reminiscent from the final boat map in Celica's journey. I like both the look and the design of this map. Kinda got like a haunted forest vibe going on here. The forest here is not your friend. Remember, terrain effects are nullified against magic, so taking cover behind these trees will do nothing for you. They will only serve to slow your units down, making it harder for you to reach the wizards, and to make it tougher for your physical units to deal with the wizards when they take cover. It's quite a challenging battle. Dora hits very hard and the wizards heal each other non-stop, forcing you to focus them down one by one rather than trying to split up your attacks between them. As with the boat map, my archers are great here due to their ability to snipe the wizards from long range. Clive actually gets dangerously close to dying, but since the wizards try to run away to the heal tile in the center when they're low, the last one doesn't finish him off despite having a very good chance to. I clean him up with Claire and continue the march. The next battle takes me quite off guard, and reminds me a lot of the single shaman from the boat battle in Celica's Journey. You only face 3 enemies, and on top of that, you start out surrounding them on all sides. It's like the player actually have the upper hand for once, like, we totally ambushed and surround these guys. Well, think again. You're fighting 3 paladins, and they got really high stats. You may think that surrounding them is beneficial, but it ends up benefiting them a lot more than you, because your forces are effectively split up, while they are together, and your units are not as strong individually as each of these guys. You either run the risk of all 3 of them attacking one of your 3 groups, which would be an absolute disaster, or you can try to split them up, like what I attempt to do, but instead it just turns out that 2 of them go for the southern group where I'll miss, while the 3rd paladin goes for force. I am totally okay with this though, as my northern group is clearly my most squishy one, with Claire, Robin, and Silk. They would be royally fucked trying to bring down one of these guys on their own, even with Claire's Night Killer. It's a slow grind to try and bring these fuckers down, as their defenses are very high, but bit by bit, I chip their hit points down until they fall. I gotta hand it to Gaiden. The most entertaining maps are actually the one featuring less enemies. But then again, that's why I really love the maps that face you off against a few really strong units, like Fire Emblem 4 and Fire Emblem 5 against the Dark Warlords, the last map of Fire Emblem 7, or even facing the Warlords in Awakening. It's just really refreshing for once to not be the small elite force taking out the Horde, but actually face off against an even smaller, more elite tier force than yourself. So, it's village time! I like village time. It's nice. Here we get introduced to our first trader, a guy that apparently knows how to navigate around the crater caused by the earthquake to deliver a single item over to Celica's party. As I said, on easy mode you can freely trade items around if you want to by using the storage function, but I actually am not going to take advantage of that right now. I have no item I wish to send over, so I'll leave this guy alone. In the village, we encounter a mage named Ryuto, who begs us to save his little sister, Dyute. Wow, do you come from like the house of stupid names or something? Anyway, his sister is being manipulated by a shaman named Tatara. Ryuto joins up with us in order to get his sister back. Ryuto is another mage, which is a very welcome addition to our squad, and he gives Robin some nice competition too. Ryuto is a freaking powerhouse with really good bases. I mean, damn, look at that 12 magic power. His growth rates are quite average across the board, except for his insane 50% luck growth, which certainly isn't a bad thing, considering luck gives crit in this game. At base, Ryuto has a 30% crit chance with Excalibur, and considering his high magical power, this will pretty much kill everything in the game at this point. 27 hit points and 5 defense is also really damn good for a mage too. I like this guy. We also learned that some gargoyles flew off with a kid in the village. I mean, surely that kid is dead by now, right? What else they gonna do with it? They're freaking gargoyles. But if we rescue her, we're gonna get the treasure in the house. Whatever that is. Better be something good, lady. We got a war to win here. So while we were in the village, another squad of paladins assembled, and they're currently occupying Bulldozer Square. 2 squads of enemy units joining up on the Overland map. Gaiden did it first! So I guess this means we will fight both of them if we attack now. I guess the smart thing to do would be to retreat, wait for the paladins to come out, and then deal with them alone before assaulting Bulldozer. But I mean, where's the fun of that? Let's go, bitches! Holy fucking Christ, that is a lot of enemy units. Shit! Hey, that's my line, Bulldozer. Archers kill that girl in the cell? Wow, that's probably the tamest threat you can ever give someone in Gaiden. Don't fuck with me, bro, or my archer's gonna shoot ya. Just give them like 70 tries and they might succeed. So Baron Bulldozer is back, and he seems to have misplaced his Draco shield, because his defenses are way lower than last time. Still, he's a 3rd tier Baron class with pretty terrifying bases, not to mention he's standing on a hill tile, which will make him pretty tough to deal with. There's also a wizard over here with Fortify and Slime. Fortify is an AoE healing spell that you all know and love from the later games. It has a global range in this game, but costs a lot of hit points to cast. But if you look closely, you'll see that this guy is standing on a heal tile, far away from the rest of your forces, not to mention there's a lot of forest in the way. So you'll either have to send a unit to deal with him, or you'll just have to let him be and spam with his constant Fortify. He also has the Slime spell for defense, which is just a ridiculously hard-hitting, albeit quite inaccurate and heavy spell. In the cell, we have Matilda. Oh baby, look at this bombshell. A blonde, pre-promoted paladin. And yes, I've seen her redesign in Echoes. I've seen it a lot. Trust me. How nice of Dozer to let her keep her horse inside her jail cell, though. I honestly think moments like these are what made the developers invent the dismounting feature in some of the later games. I don't see how the archers pose any threat to this girl, but it's a nice incentive to make the player push forward, I guess. There's also a, fuck my ass, not another shaman. Alm goes full Rambo mode and just rushes up the stairs, forcing the Cavaliers to assemble a conga line to stop him from reaching Bulldozer. Their paladin commander gives Alm quite a beating, and I'm starting to wonder if I'm going to be able to just brute force my way into this castle. The screen also flashes red for a moment, hovering over the shaman, and if he's casting something, why aren't any zombies popping up? Does the summoning spell have a chance to fail? Hell if I know. I also replace Ulm with Luca eventually, who's much better at choking points, though in hindsight, I kinda regret not slapping the Night Killer on him. He would have made really good use of it on this map. Down south, Gray had a bit too much weed to smoke and decides to hit on Silk. Hey girl, is your name Silk? Cause I'd like to show you my milk. How about you and your round, fine ass come with me to smoke some G? Yeah girl! Silk? Silk, what are you doing, Silk? Silk, no! Silk, I was just joking. Silk! No, Silk, stop! No, Fuck. So with Gray getting himself thrown in jail, he decides to take a pot shot at the shaman. And it appears he got the high slapped out of him by Silk, cause he actually managed to hit twice. Yeah, try summoning zombies now, bitch. So I think the chapter is pretty straightforward from this point on, but just like that time Slater caught me off guard, Bulldozer decides to move. Well, at least that puts him off the heal tile. He mocks Luca's silly armor before advancing. Look at that majestic looking fucker. Now that is what you call a fucking lance. Alright, Ryuto, it's time to see what you can do. Go ahead and Jesus fucking Christ. Oh my god, you just fucking bulldozed that guy. Sorry, Robin, step aside. There's a new boy in town. Grrr, Myson? What? It wasn't fucking Myson that killed you, you twat? Is he planning to give Sophia to Rudolph's brat? Damn traitor? What an interesting dialogue. So, Dozer goes down quite unexpectedly fast, but that does not mean this battle is over. There is still a literal shit ton of units left in the castle, and unlike last time with Slater, they are not attempting to run away. What ensues is a massive clusterfuck of units attacking everyone left, right, and center, and honestly, I kinda lose track of what the hell is going on. There's fucking units all over the place. Go kill something. Luckily, Gray does manage to snipe the shaman before he can summon more zombies, causing the ones who were summoned to disappear. Meanwhile, we've had enough of that Fortify spamming asshat to the east, and we send a nice little forceful care package to take him down. Man, that slime animation looks weird. And how the fuck did Force dodge that? Oh well, dead. Ryuto once again shows the power of Excalibur and snipes the last remaining Armor Knight, and with that, we've defeated Bulldozer for the second time. Hooray! Outside the world map, we see that Tatara assembled near the floodgates. Hey, that's the guy who had Ryuto's sister, if I remember correctly. We should go deal with that fucker, but first, let's look inside the castle. Much like you'd expect, we find the blonde paladin babe inside, and who the fuck is she again? And like, why is she here? Would you mind actually explaining that to us? No? Oh well, not gonna complain. I just got a hot blonde paladin on my team. So Matilda here is the first pre-promoted unit joining our ranks, and oh boy, is she a good one. Those bases are just as juicy and delicious as her hair. Now, of course, this being an old school game, you'd think that her growth rates are horrible, but think again, my friend. Matilda's growth rates are actually pretty fucking stellar, even by this game's standards. I mean, this chick is pretty much the entire package. I got nothing bad to say about her whatsoever. She's like everything Isadora should have been. In the neighboring room, we find the Regal Sword we heard about in Sophia Castle. Only Alm can wield it, but man, what a sword it is. 7 might, 100% hit, 20 crits, and 0 weight, baby. While we will dearly miss Alm being able to attack at range with his thunderbolts, this sword is just too good not to use. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, we once again reached the end of another episode of Fire Emblem Glory Hole. Join us next time as we return back to Celica and our crew to see what the hell is going on beyond that crater. As always, I hope you guys really enjoyed this episode. It's been an absolute blast making it, so give it a like and a comment to help it out, along with a click on that retarded bell. I've also decided to start thanking my patrons at the end of these episodes, so thank you everyone. Your support really means a lot to me. You too can help me out over at patreon.com/mangs1337. If not for me, then do it for Matilda's redesigned, actually, she was sort of a babe even in Gaiden. Oh well, just do it for Matilda then. At any rate, my name has been Mangs, and I hope to see you lovely little shits again soon. Goodbye.